Islam, a religion of peace? I think not. In recent years, we have witnessed a surge of Muslim migrants flocking to the borders of civilized Western countries seeking asylum. And when they are denied entry, what do? They riot, they wreak havoc, they show their true colors. And once they are granted access to these civilized nations, what do? They cry foul. They accuse the locals of being xenophobic when they do not conform to their ways. But when Muslims become the majority in these countries, what do? They seek to restrict the very human rights that they themselves sought when they first arrived. In Western countries, we have the right to exercise freedom of speech, but if someone dares to defile the Quran, what happens? Muslims from Islamic countries band together, they riot, they cause chaos. They claim that the Quran is a sacred book, and anyone who disrespects it must pay the price. Just recently in Pakistan, a few ripped pages from the Quran were found outside some churches. And without proper investigation, what did the local Muslims do? They burned down the churches. They destroyed the homes of the Christians living there. And let's not forget the case of the atheist man who was beaten and set on fire after being accused of blasphemy. These are not isolated incidents. We see similar cases in other Islamic countries as well, not just in Pakistan. And what about the leaders of the Muslim community in these Western countries? When a Muslim commits a violent act, what do? They come out publicly and condemn the atrocity. They claim that the individual does not represent Islam. But when Muslims become the majority, what do? They seek to impose their own beliefs and values on others. They seek to silence any dissenting voices. They claim to be a religion of peace, but their actions speak louder than words. Islam may claim to be a religion of peace, but the evidence suggests otherwise. When Muslims feel that their beliefs are being threatened, they resort to violence, they resort to intimidation. They claim to respect human rights, but when it comes down to it, they seek to restrict those very rights for others. They claim to condemn the killing of innocent people, but when it comes to defending their sacred book, they will stop at nothing to ensure that their beliefs are upheld. So, is Islam a religion of peace? I think the answer is clear. No, it is not. Islam may preach peace and tolerance, but when push comes to shove, it is willing to resort to violence and intimidation to ensure that its beliefs are upheld. And until Muslims are willing to truly embrace peace and tolerance for all, regardless of their beliefs, Islam will continue to be seen as a religion of conflict and division.